Hello everyone, and welcome back to my review of One Piece chapter 1025. This chapter was absolutely amazing and was insanely action-packed, so I want to get into the chapter as fast as possible. So if you could please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, that would be greatly appreciated. It only takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference. The first thing to note is the cover story. It's just Usopp lying as always, capping as normally, but the chapter starts off with Luffy talking to Momo, saying how he should come on, he has to get to the roof as soon as possible. Luffy obviously acknowledging how he has to get up there as soon as possible, that he is one of the only hopes for Wano right now. And of course Momo showing that he is still a wimp inside, just like Shinobu said, he would still be a child, just in a grown man's body. We cut to the Skull Dome, where Yamato and Kaido are still fighting, and they kind of get into like a little clash, and Yamato actually gets some blood out of Kaido, and Yamato has this thing called Kagami Yama, which is actually like a shield or something like that kind of protects her. It's probably Haki. If it is Haki, I would assume that it is something like she is projecting it out of her and making it a separate thing from her, but just putting it on her body or something. If it's not, then I have no clue how this is possible. Kaido even acknowledging how she is going on the defensive, and she does this kind of like spinning attack, it looks like, and it's called Himoro Giri. Now I really like this line, and Kaido says, "The way you defied me, it's like you actually believe you're from Wano." And that is kind of true, because everybody we've seen in Wano so far, from like the past and everything, they're pretty hard-headed, you know. Uchimaru fought Kaido, rebelled against him alongside the daimyos. Oden fought against them. The Scabbards came back from the past and rebelled against them. And then you go way back to Ryuma. He literally is the ultimate example of this. He fought back against world nobles and pirates that wanted his treasure all the way up until he died. Then Kaido says, "But everyone knows you're my son. You can't escape the truth of your blood. It doesn't matter what you do, the samurai will never consider you one of them." And I said in my last review that Yamato's obsession doesn't seem to just be only Oden, but it does seem to be from just samurai in general. And like I said in my Uchimaru video, I think this is going to be important, that she kind of just worships samurai in general, because I don't think she's actually seen an actual samurai in, you know, the present day. And she's saying, you know, shut up, what's that got to do anything? And I love Kaido in this chapter. Kaido is growing on me chapter after chapter. He's going to become my favorite villain at this point, in One Piece at least. He's already in my top 5, but he's talking to Yamato and he says, "You spent your entire life running around this island, crawling around in the attics and desperately trying to escape because you were alone." And she says, "I'm not. I had friends." And he says, "That's right. There were those samurai. Everyone that showed you compassion ended up dead." And we get a little flashback of one of Kaido's subordinates that were actually feeding Yamato, and he got like crucified, and he's looking like one of the dukes in Zou. And I like what Oda is doing. He is kind of showing bits and parts and skipping around in the timeline in the actual flashback. I'll be like what he's doing here. And we actually cut back to the fight, and Kaido smacks Yamato down, and he says, "Their acts of kindness were just lies. The truth is, they were all afraid of you. After all, you could easily use your power to impose your will on others. You're the offspring of an Oni. Relying on the friendship of humans is beneath you. That is your lot in life, Yamato." As he absolutely destroys her, repeatedly hitting Yamato, and in this one panel, he looks like an absolute demon, bro. And for some reason, people were talking about how Kaido called himself an Oni, but I'm pretty sure he's already been referred to an Oni by, I think, Big Mom or something like that, and in the very recent Vivid card that was released. And I know a couple people were definitely saying a couple chapters ago that Kaido wasn't actually trying against Yamato, and well, if he wasn't trying then, he's definitely trying now. He's literally bashing her skull in, and I kind of feel bad for her. But at the same time, Kaido is a goat for this, not for child abuse by the way, but just for being such a savage. But cutting back to Momo and Luffy is actually seeming to trying to guide him, because this man Momonosuke has closed his eyes to try to fly. It's absolutely hilarious, and this is just insane because he crashes through the entire skull to get to the roof. I think this is actually going to be relevant to the story, even though it just seems like kind of like a joke thing, or just showing how scared Momonosuke is at the moment. But I feel like this is going to serve as some type of transportation up a a level, down a level. I think some characters are going to kind of take advantage of this situation and the hole in this roof. And here we see all of the members. We got Queen, Sanji, Hyogoro, looks like Kawamatsu, Izo, Marco, yeah, it's Luffy, and then we see Zoro and King. And we just constantly see Momonosuke absolutely destroying the floors and the ceilings, and he literally just keeps going up. This is surprisingly a fast way to get up to the roof. Then we see literally a panel of Kid, Law versus Big Mom, and Big Mom doesn't look too damaged. Honestly, none of them do, considering what they did on the roof. I actually wonder what they're doing. Are they just having a staring contest? Are they thumb wrestling? I don't know what they're doing up there. I definitely do want to see more of this moving forward in the story. What are your guys' predictions on how Law and Kid versus Big Mom is going to go, by the way? And moving forward, we actually see more of Oda pushing that, you know, he's looking like Kaido. People are kind of mistaking Momonosuke for Kaido, even though they're two different colors. I don't get how that will happen. Well, I would assume so, at least, right? Because yeah, he's a pink dragon. Unless he somehow changed colors. Do they change colors when they mature? That would be kind of cool. And we actually see somebody acknowledge this, where they're saying, you know, what? How can there be two dragons? This was a different color. We have to get to the bottom of this. Then we cut back up to the roof, and Yamato's kind of huffing, and she's like, I won't let it end like this. And she prepares to swing her club. And the funniest thing is you can see Momonosuke in the background kind of panicking, and he's totally overshooting the roof. And this was really cool because I think this is what is happening. But Luffy's kind of saying how we need to get closer, we need to crash land. But I think he used his Gear 4 Snake Man to kind of hit him from where he was. Because when we cut to the next panel of Yamato and Luffy double teaming Kaido, we actually don't see Luffy in that panel, or that specific, you know, little panel right there. So they can kind of use that for range, which is actually pretty cool when you think about it. And something that was really interesting is Oda actually didn't draw Snake Man really detailed. He drew him at like a really zoomed out panel. And honestly, unless you zoom in, you cannot tell he is actually in Snake Man at all. I didn't know until I seen, you know, the zigzagging hands and him saying Gear 4 Snake Man. And you see a little panel here. I don't know if maybe it's just how he's drawing it, or something has actually changed with the Snake Man, but this actually looks really cool in this little tiny panel. It honestly could be that I just don't remember Snake Man because it's been that long. And we see Kaido turn into his dragon form, which looks amazing, by the way, as always. And he actually confronts Dragon Momonosuke, and he's not even really worried about him, to be honest. He's like, Straw Hat, how are you still breathing? Oh, and who's this dragon? Yamato kind of acknowledging him, talking about a peach dragon, could it be? And Luffy saying, it doesn't matter what you do, I'm not gonna die. I'm the man who will be the king of the pirates. And we see Momonosuke absolutely terrified, and he's like, my name is Kazuki Momonosuke. I'm the man who will be Shogun of Wano. I think this is actually very cool. Momonosuke actually kind of looking up to Luffy in a way and trying to copy that. And Kaido's like, row. You're the brat? How unexpected. This world doesn't need another dragon. And that is the end of the chapter. This was an amazing chapter. I loved it through and through from the very beginning. The little interactions between Momonosuke and Luffy, how he's all scared from the Kaido and Yamato fight, how the relationship is steadily building and basically crumbling at the same time. I like Kaido's kind of reflection of Yamato, how almost every interaction between Yamato and Kaido is Kaido basically telling her about herself, how she's just ran away, but she can never run away from who she truly is, and Oni, the samurai, will never consider her one, how she grew up crawling in attics, trying to escape because she was alone. I also like the little flashback to kind of build on Kaido's character and his overall savageness. I also like a little detail about how one of his subordinates who actually fed Yamato, and then you look back at Jack when he was at Zou. From the little interactions between Jack and Kaido we've had, Kaido seems to kind of look at him, I don't know, like a son, but someone he respects and wants to protect a lot. So this is kind of showing how the way Jack put the Dukes on the stakes at Zou, this is kind of building up Jack and Kaido's relationship in a really indirect sense, just to show how Jack kind of looks up to him and obviously is going to do some of the same things. But let me know what you guys think about the chapter in the comments and just your overall thoughts on the video. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And until next time, peace.